Hi everyone, this is just a quick webcast on how to pass F6 taxation. Now, most of the people that will be sitting this paper will not have any experience in dealing with tax exams, and that may well be why you've been chosen. So I think there may be a couple of things going through your head. The first thing that you're going to find out with F6, the first thing you're going to notice is really the size of the text. Okay, now the Kaplan text is around about 700 pages, so that may well be the biggest text that you've ever seen. So it could be a little bit daunting when you walk into the exam hall, or sorry, the lecture theatre, and see that text along with the exam kit. Okay, but don't worry about it, because a lot of people have gone before you and passed this paper. So there must be a way to do it, and I'm going to show you or outline to you now how you can do it. Okay. Now, the other area within 700 pages is the fact that if you're coming new to tax, you're coming new to fairly sort of complex rules, and it may well be that in addition to learning a series of complex rules, you've got other subjects as well, perhaps F7 or indeed F8. So the one thing that I would sort of guard against with F6, I certainly think it's passable, but the one thing I would guard against is taking on too many subjects with it. I think perhaps, one subject is a good idea. I think two or three maybe is a little bit too much. So just be careful. You know yourself from your own study experience how good you are at doing exams. I mean, this is a difficult paper, but it's certainly passable. So just be careful about your choices, yeah, in terms of F6 plus 1 or 3 or 2 or whatever. Now, as I said earlier on, your tax experience in terms of examinations, or perhaps even in terms of your work, may be something that you are thinking about. In other words, you may not have any at all, or you may work in tax. I don't think necessarily it gives you an advantage if you work in tax at all. I think what you need to do is just recognize that good study technique and indeed good exam technique on the day and a lot of hard work can help you pass any paper, whether it's F6 or anything else. So I think don't come with any sort of preconceived ideas about whether or not you can pass this exam. Just simply have the attitude that I'm prepared to work hard. I will get through the text. I put the hours in. If you do that, then F6 is passable. The reason I know that is I've seen so many students. I've taught so many students who've done exactly that, and they're not tax geniuses. They worked hard, but they're not tax geniuses just before they walk into the exam. So you don't have to be to pass this exam, not at all. Now, what is tax? If this is an intro to it for you, well, for me, tax is a series of tricks. I talked earlier on about rules, about complex rules. Really, what the examiner is going to do is he's going to set you like a set of questions that have a number of tricks, basically. In other words, rules that you need to know that will be sort of twisted around slightly. In terms of the F6 syllabus, obviously you've got income tax, CGT corporation tax, and inheritance tax, and VAT in the main. That's the bulk of it. So what he'll do is he'll provide scenarios, and he'll require you to know enough of the tricks to get 50% of those questions. Okay, so what you'll be thinking to yourself is, well, what's the best way to study for tax? And to be honest with you, the best way to study for tax, for F6, or indeed any other tax exam, or indeed any exam, is really repetition. In other words, repetition of questions. Yeah. As I said, you've got to put the hours in, but the only way that you can get good at tax is by putting yourself in the position that you're going to be in on the day. I think it helps, obviously, to have someone to guide you, a good lecturer, if you can find one, and a little bit of sort of support, perhaps, from the people around you in the class. I think the key thing with tax, for me, certainly in my experience, is try to get involved with it. In other words, don't stand off it and sort of be in awe of it. It's just a subject after all, and I'm pretty sure that if you put the hours in and get through the text, attend the course, and stay positive, I'm pretty sure you'll have a good chance of passing. Okay, so just finally, good luck in your F6 exam, indeed wherever you sit it. Just remember that tax is just another subject after all, and with regard to the really big text that you're going to see that might scare you, don't worry about that, because bear in mind that the reason the text is so big is because the solutions are so long. Okay, best wishes.